Are we live yet? Are we live?
Wait,
oh,
live.
Are we live?
I did it. There's nobody watching.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Nobody watching. Let's just call it. Nobody's gonna watch.
Yeah. Well, I might call it anyway. It depends on how my stream goes here.
Oh yeah. Do you have your Apple IIe ready to go for this?
I do. It's sitting right over here.
Good.
Backup is ready. I promise I won't be as angry as I was last time.
Yeah, you were quite the angry little duckling.
If you had 1 hour with any haunter, who would it be?
Sean the Flamboy.
Okay, number 2. You're the first one on any trade show floor. What booth do you go to first, and what do you purchase?
Gorgolor Actimatronic. We just went through this.
Which one?
Probably the gator.
The gator? Okay.
The gator.
Or no, I meant to say the snake because I want that jungle theme, so I want the giant snake.
Okay. All right. Number 3, Troy or Dan?
I used to watch the Haunt Collective a lot, and Troy lives right around the block from me and didn't come to my haunt. So I'm probably going to go with Dan.
I knew it was coming.
Thank you, Devin.
Around the
Thank
block.
You very much.
He makes it seem like I can yell at him. Hey,
He's a stone throw away. Don't let him trick you.
Yeah.
Devin, stop talking about me.
You guys are in the same room right now.
In the other room.
He's in the other room. The garage across the road. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Number 4. If you had a chance to go to any haunted attraction, which one would it be?
Hell's Gate or Netherworld. Netherworld's been on my bucket list since I was a little kid, so as much as I want to go to Hell's Gate, I need to go to Netherworld.
I will put the same thing out that I did with Nora and Tyler when they said they want to go to 17th Door in California. If you go to Netherworld, let me know, and I will meet you there, because I need to go too.
Yeah, so do I. I haven't been to the one.
And don't join in our party.
We'll all go.
All right.
It's all the way on the other side of the United States.
It's not. It's in Georgia.
Yeah, that's on the other side of the United States
it's
for you.
South of you. It's
Not
just
me,
a stone's throw
you.
south of you. It's around the block. Don't you understand that?
I'll get there before dinner. All right. Number 5. Actors or actormatronics? I'm sorry. Animatronics. Like you're talking about Kevin too much.
Actors.
Attaboy.
Am I going to have to put on my
You
thinking
don't have
hats?
to.
Absolutely
We have
no
to put on our
thinking.
thinking
I'm going to
hats.
put on our thinking hats.
The thinking hats.
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead. Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Go ahead.
Question number 1. If you had 1 hour with any haunter, who would it be?
You can each answer.
1 hour with any haunter? Wow. Ben Armstrong.
Oh, that's a good one.
You can't.
See, I've spent an hour with a couple of haunters, and it's been kind of scary. But I
I
would.
want that hour back.
No, it's just that there's sometimes drinking involved.
Sometimes?
Sometimes, occasionally. I want to spend more time picking Alan Hopps's brain. I haven't had enough time to. There's questions that I know I would ask. I just don't know what they are at the moment.
We can arrange that, Daryl.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
It's not like we haven't talked to him like umpteen times before, right?
Right.
But
You just need to have him on and like do a general podcast with him.
Let's pick your brain.
Yeah.
For 1 hour.
Yes.
All right. Question number 2. This is the question that Troy and Susie, for some reason, want me to change, but don't tell me about it. So here it is. You're the first one on the trade show floor. What booth do you go to first, and what do you purchase?
Go to the Gorgolor booth and purchase the biggest, tallest creature that he has and the loudest creature that he has.
I have the list.
Are we doing this our way since Dan's not here tonight?
Yes, we're gonna do the question 2 our way, and we're gonna flip number 3 as well.
Okay.
Okay, so
Go for it.
you will take question 2. I'll do number 1, and you both can answer if you want. if you had 1 hour with any haunter besides me and Susie, because that would take like 7 hours, who would it be and why?
So,
Oh,
I'll go ahead.
okay. Oh gosh. Oh, I don't have a clue. I don't. I have nothing.
So she picks me. Okay, so Robert.
Any of us have a clue? I don't.
What do you mean? I guess I don't know the. I guess I don't know the rules. What am I supposed to do?
Just any haunter that you've wanted to spend time with for like an hour. Just
I've
pick their
spent
brain
time
or
with
whatever.
most of them.
I know, right?
Any
it's
that
a hard
you'd like to
question for you.
spend more time with, or have you had enough?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I can't answer. Honest to goodness, I can't answer that. I just can't.
Hey, no, that's fine. That's fine.
I'll
She doesn't
be
want to talk
honest.
to anybody. She doesn't want to talk to anybody. Just heads up.
Right.
That's right. Nobody. Oh, I'll be honest here, and this is gonna sound. It's probably not gonna sound good, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I would probably want to spend time with Troy and Susie only because I went to I didn't get to see their attraction yet. I would love to see it, but I have seen their escape room. I actually did their escape room, did their axe throwing. Their escape room is phenomenal. I'll tell you what. I've been to tons of escape rooms. My wife, who's not very big into this scene in the haunted attraction industry, thought it was phenomenal. And that, if my wife can say something about attraction or an escape room, that is a great compliment.
That's
and
a
so
big-
she could not stop talking about that. Neither could I. And I would love to spend an hour with them because I have the escape room I'm trying to build. And I'd love to just get a tidbit of, okay, how can I make mine look as good as yours? I don't want to make it look the same, but how can I get that feel, that look, that amazing, just everything was awesome. So, I mean, I know it probably sounds cliche on the show,
No.
but honestly, I really enjoyed the opportunity I had.
Well, shake a leg and dig it. It's Tuesday night, and we're revved up to welcome you cats and kittens to the Haunt Tower. Brought to you by Haunt Collective. Here come your hip hosts, Susie Fleesick, spreading sunshine and smiles. Troy Crivolo, the epitome of cool. And Dan Doble, he's got slick moves and style to spare. Tonight's guest on the Haunt Tower is none other than Johnny from Haunt Scene. All right, and with that, cats and kittens, kick back, prep yourselves, grab your sodas, and let's dive into the Haunt Tower.
Welcome, everyone, to another fantastic Haunt Hour, Season 4, Episode 3. Season 4, Episode 3. God, we're just cooking right through them, eh?
We are.
How's
I loaded
everybody
it for
doing?
today. You know,
Susie, you doing all right?
I'm good. I just got up from my nap.
spreading
Us East
sunshine and
Us
smiles.
East Coasters have to take a nap before this 9
I hear you,
o'clock
girl.
late hour.
You're an hour ahead of me.
It's 9 o'clock here.
Oh,
I'm an old lady. We've already discussed this. We've established this.
got your Ovaltine and your Ben Gay and your
Yeah, but
Hey,
I,
I just
have
wanna-
to work
your
at
Bayer
6:30 a.m.
aspirin.
I just
Okay.
want to say thank you to Troy
Yeah.
for popping little Gus in there. I noticed it last week, but I was so angry from the intro to
Yeah.
last week and my technical difficulties. I did not get to compliment you on that. I do
Oh.
appreciate.
Actually,
Gus
the
appreciates it.
neighbors who whose living room were in there actually would like you to get your dog back because he's been
Well-
going to people's houses and he's
Evidently, they
presence
don't know who they're
in
dealing
their,
with.
in their living rooms. So you
Yeah, it'll work. Hey, Tyler, how's it going? Saw
Oh,
Tyler
yeah.
down there. Said howdy.
oh yeah, Tyler.
Sean, hello, Sean. Are we doing
Oh,
tonight?
you mean Sean?
How
you
many
mean-
times do we have to say hi to Sean? Because I think I've seen it 7 times on here.
I mean, if you want,
Hi, Sean.
if you want your panties, Sean, they're right here. They're right
I'm
here.
sorry, we had a snafu with the delivery service.
I
Troy,
see
I
that.
told Troy he can't send used panties, so
Oh.
we're still waiting for the new ones. He has this issue. Everything he has to get sent to his house for all the merch that we have, and
Yeah.
for some reason he has to wear the merch before he sends it.
That
And
one is.
I have a problem with used panties.
Hold
So-
on,
Isn't that
I got I had to adjust the thong. It was riding dirty.
Isn't there like there's a market for that though? Like guys pay big money to like. I'm not even kidding. This is an adult show, correct?
Why don't you
12-year-old?
I mean, Susie, are we talking by experience here? Is that how you started the
No.
coffee shop?
Listen, okay. So real quick, I got to share this.
Okay,
I obviously am an entrepreneur, and my brain just does some weird things, and I think of the craziest things. And when the internet was like a baby, like brand new, I had the idea. I'm not saying it was only my idea because it actually is an idea now, but I had the idea of like wearing underwear and selling them. Not me personally, but like somebody doing it and selling them. And it's a literal market now. There are women that get like hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to have their coffee and panties. I don't know if you want my panties after coffee.
Wow.
Anyway,
I don't know what to say.
but there are guys
going
and
wrong
probably
really
women
quick.
that pay good money for like used panties. And I've seen like on TikTok, I've seen creators say things like, I've been instructed to wear these panties, go for like a 3-mile jog, do all these things that the person that's paying for these panties wants you to do, and then stick them in an envelope and mail them, and they get paid for these things.
Troy, are you skimming from the company? Is that what you're doing?
Well, of course, but we need to find a new guest for tonight because Johnny has left. He can't handle the panties and coffee and Susie talking about her before haunting job.
Oh my God, I was a babe. A babe.
That makes it worse. That makes it worse. This.
I was over
me and Dan discussed that we've never actually had.
I know when the internet was a baby. So
when the internet was a baby and Susie was a baby.
Yeah, like internet was an infant.
And you're wearing panties? Okay. So because we've never had an interview with just Susie. We don't even know anything about me and Dan discussed the other night. We go,
who am I?
You on the show, like we put an ad out. You answered it.
Hired you on a whim.
Talk to you. Like we're like, yeah, let's sign her up. We don't even know anything about you, but now we know you were a panty model. So there's that.
You made the right decision.
Let me tell it from my perspective. Okay. I'm on my way home from Trans World. I'm in the back of a minivan, which by the way, we don't own anymore. I'm in the back of a minivan. I'm on my phone. I'm scrolling on Facebook. I see you're like, hey, are there any females in the industry that'd be interested? I'm delirious because I really can't sleep well in a car, and Trans World's like 9.5 hours from us. And I'm just like, I left the comment. I was the first comment, and the only comment it was an emoji with like my hand up, like the little lady with her hand up. And then I put the phone down and tried to sleep. And a couple hours later, I got back on and I was like, oh yeah, what happened to that? And it was gone. And I was like, yep, they blocked me from it because they were like, oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Like,
And
we
then you
can't
check
let
your
this
messages.
crazy person know. Yeah. Then I checked my messages and you guys were like, okay, we were on your Facebook and we checked you out and we think you're going to fit. And I'm like, what the hell did I do? Because I don't even know who these guys are. Yeah. So that's how it happened. If anybody cares, that's how it happened.
Well, we cared.
Also, she was wearing panties the entire time. So
I was wearing only panties in the back seat of my van on the way home.
That's our new website.
Sorry, Troy. Sorry. Sorry, Susie's Troy. This is not how this is going.
This is
bad.
Back now.
Now, what is that for?
Coffee and panties. Yes. Panties. It's already taken.
Listen, there's a market for everything in this world. If you think somebody won't buy it, I guarantee you somebody will.
I really, but like after haunt season panties, I don't think anybody wants those. Or slider.
They might even be watching us right now. The ones that would buy
like slider boob panties from Trans World back alleys, maybe.
Boob panties.
Boob panties.
Boob panties.
Boo sweat panties.
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of panties, what's going on in the haunt industry?
I'm trying to not hit these things, and they absolutely do. Honestly, we do have a couple of bits here. Hold on.
Good old haunting news.
We do.
What's going on in the haunt world?
It's so exciting.
Well, it's I mean, there's not really going a lot right now. We have some news for next week that I was holding till next week, so we'll talk about that later. But we do have the Beetlejuice trailer. Oh, we're going.
I love the 3 generations shot coming up.
Oh, I love it.
So good.
That man.
Awesome. 1, 2, 3. You gotta love it.
She hasn't aged at all.
Nobody has.
No. Catherine O'Hara is amazing.
Oh, so good.
The juice is loose. Hey.
Love it. Love it.
Love.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Is anybody going to see Ghostbusters this weekend?
I already did. I saw
Did
it on a Sunday. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was very fast paced, and I like that because there was, you don't need character development in these movies anymore. The last one you needed character development.
That's
you
what
needed
the trailers are for. Yeah.
Who the new people were, but this one right into it. And it was fun. There were people who said that, it wasn't as what they expected. And those are the people that I don't want to ever go to movies with because they're just sad people. Like, they're people who sit there and go, the movie, like Harry Potter people. Shut up.
Why do you sound like Cartman? All of a sudden you're Cartman.
I have a lot of voices. Anyways, people who can't just go to a movie and enjoy it for what it is. That's literally just 2 hours of escapism, much like haunted houses. I feel that people really judge movies a lot more than haunted houses, which is good because we don't need those same type of people judging haunted houses.
Yeah, but you can replay a movie and you can literally sit there with somebody and like talk about it and discuss it and review it. That's probably why.
There are plenty of movies that I didn't like the first time, and I'll watch it again and again. Similar to like music. You hear your favorite band's new album, you're like, but you listen to it 5 more times, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Right.
With Ghostbusters, you're not supposed to dive into all the little itty bitty details. You're just supposed to enjoy it. It's a comedy, It's supposed to be funny and light, and you're just supposed to have fun the entire time. And it definitely did that. You definitely were enthralled in the movie the whole time. You weren't wanting to reach for your phone because that's a dead giveaway that the movie's not that great, especially if you're sitting at home. If you start reaching for your phone, that the movie's lost you. But no, it was great. A lot of awesome special effects. A lot more. They definitely had to work for it this time. It wasn't just given to them.
That's cool.
So
let me say a little side note. So where my haunt is, which is where my coffee shop is, which is in the middle of a street with other house, but with homes on it, because it was a neighborhood school. I have a next door neighbor who is 19 years old, who is obsessed with Ghostbusters. He is on the spectrum. Nice kid. Doesn't have his driver's license, but his mom lets him sit in her car and he puts this blue light on top and he's got this Ghostbusters magnet thing on the sides. And she lets him drive the car back and forth in the driveway, backs it up, he pulls it forward, and he's got the light on all the time. Every once in a while, he'll sit in his car with his video camera. He's also a filmmaker. If you know where I'm going, okay?
Right.
So he's filming people coming in and out of the building, getting their coffee. He'll sit in a lawn chair on his front lawn and just record people. I can't tell you how many times I have people say, "Who is that guy?" Because he looks like a man. I mean, he's 19, but he's like bigger guy, full beard, and it's hilarious because there's nothing you can do. People are allowed to film. You're allowed to do whatever you want in a public place. But I'll tell people, I'm like, he's probably getting some footage for his new Ghostbusters movie because he sends me Snapchats of his new films and his trailers. It's honestly adorable, and I love that he's so obsessed with it because it's such a cool thing to love. So
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things I saw today was that the main I forget her name, the girl in the movie who does most of the fighting and most of the winning, she actually in real life has been a Ghostbusters fan since she was a little girl. Like they show pictures of her like with Ghostbusters toys and Ghostbusters shirts and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden now she's the star of the 2 new Ghostbuster movies.
That is so cool.
So that's cool that somebody like that, because it makes it more real, because Hollywood's so detached from us that something like that makes it feel like, oh, okay, she's like
it's
a real
one of
person.
us.
She, she's not some person who just grew up in that world and was handed a job. It definitely was her heritage. Also, last night I got to, and this is something that other, especially Halloween horror movie folks should want to do. AMC does this thing called Scream Unseen, and it's where they send you an email. So you have to probably be signed up on at least their email list, but maybe their little Stubs free thing where you get you sign up for their little app or whatever. But you get an email every once in a while that says, hey, we're going to show you this movie. It's $5. That's fine. $5. And you don't know what it is until it plays. So you're taking a wild guess. And it's going to be a movie that's going to come out probably in about a month.
Oh.
But you don't know what it is. And so I decided, easy, cheap game night. I'm a homeowner now. I don't have any money. And so let's go. So I told Ashley, I said, we're going to a movie. So we get there and we're thinking it's going to be Winnie the Pooh because we're like, this is going to be awesome because Winnie the Pooh comes out later on, comes out on Friday. And I was like, well, it could be that. There's also the first Omen that's coming out in April. And then there was this other one that we're walking by. It had the little cardboard stand out there and it was called Sting. And it was for a spider horror movie, whatever. And so I mentioned to Ashley, I go, what if it's the spider movie? She hates spiders, like most.
Oh my God.
And she goes, I'd fucking walk out. And I go, well, that's awesome. I go, this is gonna be great. So we get in there, we're starting to watch the movie. I have no idea what it is. It's definitely not Winnie the Pooh. And the first little part comes out, and one of the little legs of the spider comes through the little grate or whatever, and she's like, motherfucker! She was so pissed. She's like, no! And I go, it's Sting. So
oh my God. Were there other people in the theater like screaming too?
Did anybody leave?
Oh, that would be so fun.
No, nobody left, but everybody had a great time. There were a lot of laughs. It was actually a really good movie. It is about a spider that comes on an asteroid. Far-fetched, but whatever. That's a very tiny part of it. But the storyline, they went really quick with character development, but you actually care about them, which is rare for horror movies. Like you actually are involved in their life. They do enough little snippets to let you to move along the story. But the spider is very well done. For the effects and stuff and the animatronic, it's very good. And there's lots of comedy, lots of gore. Lots, several good jump scares in it, but it moves very quickly, and I think it comes out on the 12th of April, but it is very, very good movie. So, but that was cool. So, yes, you get it in your email, and you get to go see a horror movie for $5.
So do you get to review it? Are you like a test audience? What's the
kind of what they do is at the beginning they say go on to Instagram and discuss it with us after the film, and so you do the hashtag Scream Unseen or whatever, and then other people do it, whatever. But no, it's not like we give them any feedback. It's just I think what it is they may think the movie's not going to do well. So why not get a bunch of early money and then get a little bit of buzz where it could be like a cult movie type thing?
Yeah. Like, I was chosen to go see it first. Yeah, that's fun.
Right. So I don't see how it would do bad. It depends on what's coming out around it. But the spring and winter seem to be good times for horror movies, which you would think Halloween would be better for it. But there's so much more to do, like haunted houses.
Yeah, we're too busy.
But probably the only other bit of news is currently going on is the judging for the Home Haunter Awards.
Interesting.
Both the overall Home Haunter Awards that include everybody in the world, which is the one me and Christopher put on, and then there's also the Canadian Haunters Awards. I think ours got like 156 or something like that entries, down from last year. Last year we had like 200. I kind of feel like a lot of people did a lot of work last year and then kind of did, well, we're just going to have the same kind of haunt this year. Not a lot of people did a lot of extra stuff. But what we have seen so far has been amazing. And I actually went through, because I'm not a judge anymore, but I went through the walkthrough ones, and I got to pick several to be on the show because I was blown away by how great they are, and they had never entered before. And so I was like, hey, we need you guys on our show because your haunt is awesome. But yeah,
it's a great feeder program for the show. Good job, Troy.
Well, yeah. The sentiment from the judges so far is wow. Just wow. There's a lot of amazing people that are putting stuff out there.
What we all say about Troy. Wow. Upside down.
Wow. Yep. So let's see. I think it's time. I think speaking of
it is time.
I think speaking of home haunts.
God, I can't wait for the DIY of the week. What is it?
This week is
how the fluorescent starter itself works. But
I actually saw somebody ask about this in a group today. They wanted to know something to make lights flicker and flash with extreme randomness. There are lots of companies out there, Fright Crops. There's several other big companies that put out flicker modules that are basically programmed to do a certain sequence of flickering. One of the cool things with these, what they're called, is they are. Why does it have to reload every time I do that?
I built one of these. Yeah.
They're FS2 starters. They're like, they come in a 2 or 4 pack or whatever, and they're like $3. And they do only work with 110. They don't work with the 12 volt, but they work with 110. And you put them in one line of the cord, and it literally makes the light flicker. A regular light bulb will flicker randomly. I mean, zero programming could do what this does.
Yeah, it works really good. They have there's another video out there where they make it into an outlet box. And you can plug the cords into an outlet, and it's all sealed box. That's what I built. It works great.
Yes, you can also buy these little flange mounts to make it safer. Because safe is good. Evil Olive here puts these. Let's see, where in the video does he show? He's showing how he puts them together.
What's he showing? Showing it all.
Well, he's showing how he does his.
You know what's great about my building? I don't have to do this because we have ghosts that do this for us. So it saves me a lot of money.
So the other way that you can do it is the heat shrink and stuff like that. Make sure you cover your connections because fire bad. But these will make any light bulb flicker. And the cool thing is once they start to die, which takes a very long time, I've had ones where I've had them out for 3-4 years and they're still flickering on the same one. But as they die, they flicker even more randomly. So you could have several of these going in different parts and have a different flicker for all of them. And it's super cheap. Not to disparage vendors from making a module thing for it or disparage.
Hey, if you're going to build it, you're going to build it.
Right. But this is a DIY, and we're all DIY hunters.
Yeah, so we're all about DIY.
Yeah. To some extent, if time allows.
Right. Well, you from a pro hunt, you might want to go along, which is why the vendors exist. You don't have time, you have money. So
speaking of time and no money, Troy,
time and no money
behind you there. Is that your new backdrop?
It is. This is what my lovely wife made me. It is all of my old t-shirts.
Oh, that's so cool.
So there's a lot of history here. This is a lot. Somebody said, well, I don't see my shirt on there. Well, that's because I'm wearing
shirt on there either.
Well, that's because I'm wearing it.
You're wearing it.
I'm still wearing. I still have 6 drawers full of haunt shirts.
Yeah.
So you telling me the Hellmouth Troy is all salty because you got his shirt on the wall?
That's because he gave me a large, and I don't fit into a freaking large.
Ooh. So is that why they're on there? They don't fit you, or they're like literally you wore them to death?
Some of them have outgrown the Taco Bell.
Okay.
Yeah. But some of them are ones where I supported the haunt by buying the T-shirt. Probably not going to wear the T-shirt much, if not anymore. I wore it a couple times, but it's a memory. Dead Rising down here, right below me here. I'm trying to do it without turning around. I think it was 6 months after I toured that haunt in Chicago, the owner actually died. Not to say that if I tour your haunt, you're going to die. That's a bad thing. But
the owner died.
Away. And he passed away. It was very sad.
Don't come to Crawford.
Don't come to Crawford. All of a sudden, I'm not invited to haunts anymore. That's weird.
Don't be telling people that people are dying. Owners are dying after you come. Holy shit.
Ironically, the 3 last companies I worked for all got sold or shut down too. It's so weird. Good thing I'm self-employed.
Terrible. Oh my God.
I'm kind of bad news.
With many businesses.
I may not be the best person to be around. Who knows? But this is all of like my early history. So I've got old Scare Hollow shirts on there. I've got before I was kicked out of Hunter's Hangout right there. Northwest Territories is on there.
I forgot. Are we all off of that? Are you on that?
I think I'm still on.
Okay. This is Halloween Town. This is one of their first shirts in Halloween Town in St. Helens, Oregon, where the movie was filmed. So I've got lots of little history. There's the 13th. God, this is hard to do. 13th floor. Grant McDonald made that shirt years ago for the West Coast Convention, 13th floor. So yeah, there's a lot of memories here, and I didn't want to get rid of it. So Tapestry number 1.
I love it. It's a great idea.
It is a great idea. I love it.
So I will move it up and down as I go throughout the year here. But
fantastic. Yeah. So what are we leading up to next year? I feel like we got to talk about something else before.
I'm going to. I'm going to come to your haunt in 2 years. Wink, wink. Well, a year actually. A little over a year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, folks, I will be dead at the ripe old age of what, next year?
But you know 49. What? You know what's good is that because I can't come to his haunt because he doesn't have one, there's no way that Johnny is ever going to die.
Johnny Bronto, everybody.
Hey! Let's go. Good transition there.
Let's go.
I tell you what.
Let's go.
Nice.
Johnny can't die.
If I ever passed away, the haunt industry would just keep going. It wouldn't matter.
I thought you were going to say something else.
No,
I will disagree with you on that. Florida would close. It would just be no more haunting in Florida because Johnny's gone.
It would literally just be theme parks.
It would just be theme parks.
We'd have to change the name of the show.
Yep.
So before we dive into current, we had you on a couple years ago, and we generally don't like to repeat because we don't want to get people bored. But you're such an awesome guy.
That we don't have anybody else. So welcome aboard, Johnny.
Hey.
Yeah. After this, we have no more guests. So we hope to God somebody signs up and,
or we'll beg somebody else to come back on.
I mean, I could always come back again in the same season.
Checks in the mail, Johnny. Checks in the mail.
Johnny 2, Johnny 3, Johnny 4,
fine.
Johnny 5.
Johnny 5.
Johnny 5 is alive.
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
So why don't you refresh our viewers? Some of them are new. Kind of how you got started in the industry, and what led you to Haunt Scene and all that, and kind of give the elevator pitch of Johnny and Haunt Scene.
Sure. So Haunt Scene, we are a travel show for spooky shit. We've been doing this since 2015. We actually have our upcoming 10th season launching here in May. I had to push that back a month. We started off as Halloween Horror Nights nerds, and then we discovered that there were other independent haunts out there. And as we have been doing more and more of those, We do less of the theme park stuff as we want to travel all over. The main goal, my personal goal, is to hit up one haunted attraction in every state. So far, I've been to over 120 different locations in 21 states. So still got a little bit to go with that. And so we're not reviewers. We are promoters. We just want to show people what's out there. And people like us. So I'm going to keep going.
Favorite haunt?
Ha! Slip it in there, eh?
He didn't even lube you up. He just went right.
I gotta throw it in there.
We don't. One of the tenets of haunt scene is we don't put one haunt over another. But we do have many attractions that we have revisited a couple times. Woods of Terror being one of them. So we do love our Woods of Terror. But there are a lot. There are a lot of haunts that I'm a huge fan of. Every haunt is its own little microcosm, its own little thing, and that's kind of how we look at it. So we're here to just push the entire industry, and just get people out doing independent haunts. That's our goal.
I've always looked at haunts as like a art display. You know, you go to these art venues where the people have it's their own maker, their own play on what they see and what they create, and that's the way haunted houses are, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's cool.
So you can't put one over the other.
Nope. And it's not just me. I have an amazing team. My co-host Melissa has been with me for 8 years now. I also have Kira. We have a couple new faces this year. So we're really excited to start to ramp up for the show and start traveling again for this next season. We starting to push our numbers a little bit. Let's see. In the last 4 years, we've done 30 haunts, 47 haunts, and then 34 haunts. So we get out there and do a lot of and we don't do the thing where every house is its own haunt. No, one location is one haunt. That's how we roll. And we just want to get out there and show people what's out there. Like I said, like a travel show. You can see some of our road trips on the screen right now.
So you're telling us travel show. Can you give us a little breakdown of what haunt scene is for the people that don't know?
So we're just social media folks. Our main platforms are YouTube and Instagram. We're on Facebook too. We like to give people a taste of what a haunted attraction is like. So we'll take pictures of characters. We may do scare cam videos. We may do some vlogs. We have a live show that we do 3 times a month from May through November. So we try to, Florida's our home state. So we try to give the haunts in Florida a chance to preview themselves, their new houses, their new themes, that kind of thing. And that will always be our home. But I've kind of fallen in love with getting out of state and doing new stuff. So we just want to give people, whether you're spooky or not, an insight into the haunt industry from the inside out. Whereas most content creators in my space do more of like an outside in look. We are from the inside out. Yeah.
Interesting. I like it.
Yeah, I love it personally as a pro haunter. I love it because there's so much competition out there, and I feel like the vibe isn't that you guys present isn't like competing, and it's because you're not reviewers, but it's just like Dan said, everybody's their own art show, basically. Yeah, and I love that, and I appreciate that, and it's just so cool because all the different things that are in my head that I could do, it's kind of like, I don't know, interior decorating. Like, what is your style? Like I personally couldn't possibly do every single thing that I have in my brain and my haunt.
Right.
Because there's so many things I can't do because I'm inside, can't do outdoor shit. But it's just so cool to see the stuff that other haunts do. It's very inspiring whenever you're not pitted against each other.
Right.
And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying it can be that way in this industry. And I love that it's not for you guys, because I can look at something and appreciate how different it is from what I have to offer. And also realize I can't ever do anything like it because I just would never be able to create something like that. So it's really cool. It's fun for people also in the industry, not just people that want to see inside the industry, you know? So
yeah, I think what we do really resonates in the haunt industry. We just got back from Transworld, and when I first started going to Transworld, like 5-6 years ago, 7 years ago, it was weird because like nobody knew who we were, and I don't do this for me. I don't do this to be a celebrity, or I don't do this for. I try to put the camera on other people as much as possible, but we got a lot of love over the last couple times we've been there, and it was very humbling when we were there. When people wanted to take pictures with us and stuff like that, so that was really cool. So I just love having friends in the haunt industry, and I love promoting my friends and haunts and other spooky adjacent stuff. We talk about horror theater and movies and games, and sometimes we talk about horror burlesque. I mean, we're all in it. So
that has something to do with panties, doesn't it?
I mean,
my God.
Burlesque is the art of the tease. So we are very respectful.
Is
very
your wife out of
respectful
town, Dan?
of our burlesque friends.
Oh, wait, can you tell?
I could tell.
On sale this week. This week only.
Wow.
Panties.
Dan will personally sign each one of them.
Oh my gosh.
Much like getting a signature from Spencer from Ice Nine Kills. What was that like meeting him?
So I've met a lot of horror celebrities. I go to like Spooky Empire, Spook Hall, a lot of horror conventions, right. And there are a lot of people that you meet and you step into their celebrity bubble. And I'm not going to say name names or whatever, but you're kind of like you're just another person in line throwing the money, getting an autograph, whatever. How are they ever actually going to remember you? Can you actually have a conversation with them? When I met Spencer Sharness from Ice Nine Kills, it was like the complete opposite. He was super warm. He was super cool. Was just a normal dude. Got a chance to talk to him for a few minutes. Very, very nice guy. I'm hoping to get him on my show at some point. But I've become a pretty big Ice Nine Kills fan over the last couple of years. I'm a little late to the party because there were a lot of people there that were earlier, but love it. Absolutely love it. And can't say enough nice things about my experience meeting Spencer. And it was really cool because it was at Spook Hall a couple of years ago, and they had a VIP experience where they actually played live, and it was like the back patio of like a dive bar, and it was like a very intimate, like less than 200 people venue, and it was my first time seeing them live. And like, as much as I want to see their full stage show or stadium show or whatever, I got to see like the perfect place to. I was like 5 feet away from them. It was amazing. It was an awesome show. And like, how do you top that? You know,
you can't.
But he was cool. I love that whole genre. And honestly, there's a lot of crossover. They filmed some stuff at Haunted Overload, and some other. I think they did some things at some of the other haunts up in the Northeast as well. I believe that's where they're from. And nothing but nice things to say. And I think I love that crossover because people that might be into haunts might discover certain type of music because it's theatrical or whatever, because all the songs are these days based on movies, which I think is kind of cool. So
yeah, he definitely he's definitely brought the two worlds together. There's been plenty of rock artists who have done something for a movie or from based on a movie or inspired by it, but he's literally he's almost making the song that would now tell you all about the movie, but in such an intense way. Like every time I hear one of the songs, I'm like, I gotta go watch that movie. It totally makes me want to go see it. And now he's got he has an actual horror convention it's not at Danvers, but it's at
Silver Screams Con. Scream Con, yeah.
Isn't it at an old insane asylum?
Oh, I don't know that off the top of my head. I just know I believe somewhere in the Northeast.
I know that they do something with it, but they do a concert that night, one of the nights there, and that's I'm just like, man, but he does it in like early October, I think, and I'm like, dude,
yeah,
really? I can't get away.
Yeah, I'm already almost booked for the season, so
right.
Yeah.
So speaking of conventions, what do you think? Like,
what do you see as the difference between like the horror cons and like a Halloween con? Like, what are like the pluses to both of those? Because like I know there's a lot of haunters that like may not ever go to a horror con,
right?
But you do. You go to both.
Yeah.
What would be like some pluses to going to a horror con?
Well, I think if you're a haunter and you go to a horror con, you could kind of see what people are into, because people will cosplay, dress up as their characters, whatever, get inspired that way. And I think the reverse is true too. Even if you're just into horror and you wander into a haunt convention, you could literally see, it's almost like walking backstage in a horror movie. Like you get to see all the things that go into that, because horror and haunts they're literally two sides of the same coin. One hand washes the other with that. And people obviously with like theme park stuff where I'm from, Halloween Horror Nights, half the houses now are based on IPs or intellectual properties, and that's what people love. But if you could take something like that and put your own spin on it, with horror in a haunt, people will really like that. So it's gotten a little crazy.
What's your take on like pro haunts using like movie characters? Like, I mean, there's a lot of people who use Jason and Michael, right. But like, do you think that's, and haunts shouldn't take it the wrong way, but do you think that's lazy, or do you think that it's
no?
Okay.
I don't think that's lazy at all. I think you give the people what they want. I know that I think I went to Brighton Asylum. They have a slasher night. I've been to Woods of Terror. They have some Stranger Things stuff and some other scenes with like Freddy and stuff like that. And people, you can't
relate.
Yeah, you can relate. You can have something, even if you don't understand the original part of a haunt or the story or the backstory of a haunt, you can say, "Oh, there's Freddy Krueger." I think a good mix, is really good. I mean, everything from theme parks and on, they do IP stuff. So I think it's awesome.
Are there trademarks on that stuff?
I have no idea how that works.
I mean, we obviously don't do it at our haunt, or I would know the answer to that.
Yeah. I mean, I know we had the thing going on Christmas time with the Grinch that people were getting in trouble.
Oh, that was like being shared. Yeah, that was being. No, was there truth to that, or was
I think
that
if
like
it becomes big enough, it's not legal to do, but people get away with it because it's 1 month and there's small haunt.
Because I mean, I'm thinking about like the music that we play in our haunt and all that. So that's just music. It's not even an actual character.
Right.
You would.
Well, I don't see a lot of haunts, and I could be wrong, but I'm thinking of the marketing I've seen for haunts, like saying there's a slasher night or whatever. I don't see a ton of IPs in that. So
I can tell you, when I ran the Chamber of Horrors in Fall River, Wisconsin, they had a sci-fi night because we couldn't call it Star Wars night.
Mm-hmm.
Because we would have gotten canceled for that. So,
yeah,
I think if you make it part of your marketing, then it's an issue. But we just called it Sci-Fi Night, and everybody showed up, and we had all the cosplay Star Wars characters. It was awesome. I loved it.
People can kind of fill in the blanks if you use those general terms like Slasher Night. I wonder who's there. That kind of stuff.
Knife companies.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's just just don't put it in your marketing or on your billboards or out front of your building. Put it inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cody said, he uses Michael as his queue line. Cody's also a home haunt though too. You're taking money for charity, whereas these are doing it for profit. And if they put Michael on their billboard or in their TV spot or something, sure, somebody from that industry is going to see it and they're going to report it. Disney has people that's all they do is watch people's YouTube videos and watch things to find what you're.
That's where
it's everything.
That's where that Grinch thing came from, because isn't that a Disney character? That's property. Isn't that Disney property?
I think it was. I think it was the Dr. Seuss estate actually that went after that.
Yeah.
But
that's scary because we did that 2 years ago. We did photos with the Grinch, not at the haunt. A
Grinch.
And trust me, it was not the Grinch.
Did you
it was not at the haunt. It was like
the Grinch.
no, we didn't. and it was that horrible mask that you get off of
Oh yeah, I have that one.
that's
so
really
what it was is
if
people were charging to see the Grinch or get pictures with it, that's when it became an issue.
Yeah,
If the
because
Grinch
it's
was
marketing.
or it was in your marketing, yes.
No, but I'm saying
right.
selling the pictures is marketing.
Well,
right. And you didn't have the rights to.
If you have a dude standing out front in a Grinch costume, nobody's going to say anything. But if dude's making money off of his likeness,
there's a pizza shop in my town that does delivery by the Grinch at Christmas time. So that's marketing.
And what's that pizza shop called?
Well, I'm not going to tell you because they're really good customers. But yeah, my town's also this big, but yeah,
you're saying there's not going to be a Grinch on Crawford doing coffee this year?
There's not going to be any characters.
Just
doing
you,
any coffee
just you.
It's just going to be Dan wearing haunt hour panties.
Just spooky Susie.
Spooky Susie.
Just spooky Susie.
Listen, one of my actors' little boys calls me Spooky Susie, so that's why I'm Spooky Susie.
There you go, and that's why your name is Spooky Susie. She finally came out with a nickname for herself on the show 4 seasons in. After I came up with one for her that she didn't like.
Forever.
Susie Ben-Gay Fleesick. So speaking of theme parks, I know we talked about this before the show went on. What is your take on the difference between theme park haunts and regular pro haunts? I have my opinion on it, but I would love to hear yours.
So one of the mistakes that I made, and I didn't realize this till about a year or two ago, was I was like, you know what? I loved Horror Nights, and this was the gateway drug that got me into haunted attractions. And my goal originally was to take the people that were at the theme parks and try to peel them off into doing independent haunts, because a lot of people have complaints about how much it costs to go to the theme park events, parking, drinks, whatever. Maybe the theme parks aren't scary. Maybe they're too busy. Maybe there's all these complaints about the theme park experience or whatever. But you know what? People want that. That's exactly what people pay for. As much as I would love to pull people away from Halloween Horror Nights or Hollow Scream to do independent haunts, people love theme parks, and they're going to buy their $1,000 Ultimate Frequent Fear Plus Express and smile and complain the entire time they go 40-something nights. And they're like, yeah, feed it to me, Universal. Not to take anything away from the event, because the event is amazing, but the fans and the fandom, that's what they want. And I would admit, I mean, I've probably pulled a couple people off of that stuff to at least open the door to do a lot of other haunt media or Horror Nights media people, especially during the pandemic when Horror Nights was closed and all of these content creators needed other stuff to do. All of a sudden, magically, they're into independent haunts all of a sudden, So
that's all there was.
Right. I mean, and that was kind of cool because it did kind of put a spotlight, especially here in Florida, on some of the other things that were out there, and some of the things became fairly popular based on that sort of spotlight. So that was cool. But people are in love with Universal. People are in love with Disney. People are in love with theme parks, and you know what? That is perfectly fine. But if I was a haunt, I wouldn't try to market to those people, because they're happy paying hundreds of dollars for that experience and I mean, even if you pay a lot of money, you can still get a season pass and go for 2 months. And it's overall, it's pretty cheap entertainment if you break it out over that many nights,
Right. Do you think that they are people that wouldn't go to regular haunts in their town?
Well, when people do complain about, and I used to be part of the Halloween Horror Nights boards and stuff like that, and the groups on Facebook, and people would complain about how it's not scary, or how there's IPs. Why is The Weeknd there? Oh my God, Stranger Things is back again. The Walking Dead 4 years in a row. People will have these complaints, but the moment you say, there's an independent haunt that's 15 minutes north of here called the Petrified Forest. It's actually scary, and they actually do a really good job, and it's way cheaper. Why don't you go check that out? And they're like, no, I don't want to drive. It's like, then don't complain if you don't have a solution. If you're not willing to go try something else, then have fun at Horror Nights waiting in line for an hour or two.
I just
This
think
is so true. It's like it's with a lot of things. I mean, I know Disney and Universal are so just like up there. We don't have that problem here, even though I do know people that have season passes that live in Pennsylvania. But like it's true for so many things because again, I'm going to compare it to like coffee. People are going to complain all day long about Starbucks, but they're going to keep going and they're not going to come to me with better quality, better service, et cetera, et cetera. They love to complain about something. They're going to love it. They love the idea of it. They get there, they bitch the whole time. They leave, they tell everybody how shitty it was, but they're going to go back. And the reason is, and I hear this with other haunts, I'm definitely not naming names, because here's what I hear a lot. We're going to give them one more chance. I hear that so much in the haunt industry. Like, I'm going to give them one more chance because they sucked this year. Hopefully next year it's better. And then they go back and you can read reviews on these places. And I mean, they have a lot of good ones, but it's so weird how people are just in that and they refuse to learn different behavior and go somewhere else.
It's convenience and comfort.
It's so weird. It's what they're used to. Oh, me and my friends every year, we get a VIP tent at this place and we just do it. But I'll tell you what, it wasn't worth it. We paid, all this money for a VIP tent for 2 hours. We went through, it was shitty. Nobody scared us. The actors were on their phones, etc. And then I'm standing there and most of the time they're telling me this and I'm like, okay.
I come to my
house. Here I am.
Right? That's pretty much how it feels. But
then you have the people in the haunt and the attendees of the haunt industry. They're not in the haunt industry, but the attendees, they complain about $30 or $40 tickets.
Yeah.
But yet, like Johnny said, they're willing to shell out money to fly, hotel, everything to go to work.
Right. It's the experience.
For the
and a $6 water bottle.
Experience.
Right. Yeah. But for the amount of money that you're spending going to Universal, you could go to the Northeast, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Texas, Chicago, and get a lot more haunts and actually save money, really. See a lot more haunts and a lot more different things.
So
and get a full weekend out of it. And but yet and that's why I wanted to ask, I'm
gonna
different types of people.
I'm gonna shed a little light on the subject because everybody in this chat, in this video, right, this live stream right now, everybody and their spouses are 100% in on haunts.
Yes.
Okay. My wife is not. She hates Halloween, but she'll go to a horror nights. Oh yeah, she's not a fan. She hates being scared. She hates being scared.
The horror nights is perfect.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, for instance, we have a Six Flags up here, and they do like a horror thing. It's just bad. It's just bad. But she'll go with her 2 other girlfriend moms, and they'll take all the kids, and they won't fucking complain about it. They're gone all day and all night, and they come back, and that's their fix. And that's 20 people right there.
Right.
But if I had her come to the haunt, there's no way she would even go herself. Never mind invite her girlfriends and their kids. Won't do it because she doesn't like to be scared.
That's so weird.
Well, haunts are marketed as scary,
right?
Yeah.
So that's
we
why
love being
Horror
scared.
Nights is marketed as a horror film, like as
a Halloween event.
Yeah,
as a Halloween event.
Immersion.
Yeah.
It's immersion. It's not. It's
watered
not
down.
You want to be in.
It's watered down, and that's how they get more people in the door.
Right.
Yeah. It appeals to a wider audience.
Yeah, and like I said, with the IPs and the Stranger Things, and they had The Last of Us last year, and they usually do like classic horror and stuff like that, and classic monsters. They've got something for everybody. I mean, and kudos to Universal because they literally have the whole event down to a science.
Oh yeah.
I no offense to anybody in the creative with Universal, I don't feel like they're pushing the envelope anymore because they just have it figured out to get as many people in the park, to spend as much money as possible, the optimal experience for that. And, kudos to them.
Right.
Can you imagine if they turned off all the fucking lights and it just scared the living shit out of people? Like nobody would I would go, but nobody would go. There would be people complaining all over the place.
Well, my first year going to Halloween Horror Nights was 2008, and it was the Bloody Mary year. And it blew my mind. I mean, I grew up in Detroit, and they had Erebus, and they had some other haunts around there that are like epic, legendary haunts. But I was never really into that when I was in that particular area. when I went to Halloween Horror Nights for the first time in 2008, it literally awoke something in me. Like, what? But like everything was like cutting edge, pushing the envelope, scaring the crap out of you. And then, a couple of years later, when the event blew up even more and more and more and more and more, they still have epic, amazing original stories and houses and characters, but they started to kind of split that with what gets people in the door, which is the intellectual properties. And that's not something you're going to see a lot all over the country. That you can only get that at like a Horror Nights type thing. A lot of other things don't do IPs to that level.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yep.
I mean, I go and I still have fun. I mean, here in Central Florida, Halloween Horror Nights is a big social aspect thing too. Okay. It's where you go to hang out with your friends. So that's why people buy the Freak and Fear or whatever, and they're just not interested in doing anything else because that's where they want to hang out. It's the thing to do for 2 months straight,
Right. I mean, if I lived in Florida, I would absolutely have a season pass to Universal. Right. I absolutely love Universal.
Oh, I do.
I cannot wait for the new park to open. I mean, my wife is literally pins and needles waiting to get into Castle Frankenstein. I mean, it is that. I mean, I'm not going to be able to pull her away from that park when we leave. And I have a feeling we're going to be going a couple of times in the next couple of years. And I get that aspect of that. It's not, these people aren't going to haunted houses. They're going to experience it. And that's why, like, when I read things on, like, I'm on a couple of Universal groups as well, and I hear them talk about Horror Nights, like, oh, they're really excited to go see haunted houses. And I'm like, that's not a haunted house.
Those aren't haunted houses. Yeah.
I'm like, and some of them I will ask outright, do you go to haunts in your own town? And most of them say, oh, yeah, I go to like one. And not, because they've spent all their money going to Universal, but yeah, it's an interesting thing that it's almost like two whole different parts of the industry and they don't mix
completely.
Yeah,
I agree.
And in Florida here, we don't have, and no offense to any of the haunted attractions in Florida, because they're all awesome and amazing. I blast all of them, but we don't have like a Netherworld. We don't have like a Dent Schoolhouse. We don't have like a Brighton Asylum or Hell's Gate, or I know I'm missing a million of them out there. Like, we don't have any of those big box, big name haunts here because we have the theme park stuff here, So
it's probably not worth it for anybody to try to compete with that.
And it's the same thing with California. I mean, name a haunt in California.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not right off the top of your head like some of these other states.
I mean, I would be thinking of theme parks, Knott's.
Right, you'd be thinking Knott's first. Knott's is like the original, so so you automatically think Knott's, and then of course Universal and Disney. Hell, I mean, even SeaWorld has haunts. So it's very hard in both of those coasts, both of those states to do a haunt because of that. But I mean, you have Sir Henry's, and like you said, we
have amazing haunts in Florida. Absolutely.
I would pick Sir Henry's hands down over, but like we said, we're here for the haunts. Right.
Yeah, but that's what we do. We want to go out, find out what's out there, put this, especially in Florida, like we have a whole haunt directory on hauntscene.com, plug, where we actually put all of the independent haunts. I mean, we put the theme park stuff on there too, because people are going to go and do that anyways. But literally, it's like the haunts and the calendars and the ticket links and all the stuff, because we want people to have a centralized resource to see what's out there in Florida. And one of the things that I've done a little bit behind the scenes with some of the haunts in Florida is I've worked with them to coordinate their media nights. So that way they're not stepping on each other. Everybody gets their own night. That way everybody gets the maximum exposure for who they invite out to their media night. So I've got a pretty good number of things here in Central Florida that I'm trying to help with over the last couple of years.
Right. I got that right here. You got the
things to do in Florida.
Yeah, so I've got some of our friends and shops and things like that, ghost tours. And like I said, when we meet new folks, we just try to expand the haunt scene family. And it's, we focus mainly on haunted attractions. This is going to be last year, but we try to put everything we can in one place. Unfortunately, we don't really have a lot of bandwidth to do a lot of home haunt stuff. Right. Just because there's only like 5 of us, and there are a lot of home haunts out there, and we literally have a limited amount of time to get everything in that we can, but we try to do the best. We usually wander into a couple, like we did Pemberton Haunters in Sefner, Florida, which is actually by Sir Henry's, which was excellent.
Nice.
But we try to show people just what's out there. And these are all different types of experiences. But yeah, North Florida, South Florida, Central Florida. We do all the things. We love Fright Nights. God, we love Fright Nights. They're like our BFFs in the whole haunt industry.
Yep.
But yeah. And then as you scroll through them, all these things are great. And I keep a little list of the things that have closed, which are very sad. Some of these were my friends as well.
Right.
But just want to give them a little bit of love. A little memoriam.
Sean brought up the Universal Unleashed in Vegas. What are you planning on heading out there when it opens?
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I've heard people. I think people are under the impression this is going to be like another full-on Halloween Horror Nights event. I've heard a couple things where that's not quite the case. So I'm going to do a little wait and see with that, but I'm sure I'll check it out. I haven't been to Nevada yet for a haunt. So the only time I've ever been in Nevada was for a wedding, and I don't really remember much of it. So I need to get back there and do some things in Vegas and the surrounding area. So I'll get that off the list eventually.
Speaking of,
I know that I don't think there are a lot of haunts in Nevada. I think there's only like one. I mean, besides the Zach Baggins thing, I don't think there's really.
We'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, so that would be good because I can't name a haunt.
There's a couple haunts in
Nevada.
downtown Las Vegas. My sister lives in Vegas, and there's a couple haunts there. They don't market outside of where they need to. It's just Vegas.
Yeah, they probably don't need to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I'll end up in Nevada for something else. Like one of the benefits of traveling, especially in the off season, is there are bus tours or there are tours that go along with conventions. And if I can get a state that I haven't been to yet, like the Texas Haunts Convention in July, I'm hoping that I can get into a couple haunts there and get Texas off my list. And if I can do that in the off season, that just makes me happy. So I don't, because I only have like 9 or 10 weeks to do what I do. So,
well, I can tell you this: you are welcome here. Obviously, at my place. I have a space for you to stay, and I can easily drive you to Dark Hour for a I can ask Alan if he's got time to do a full backstage walkthrough and all that kind of stuff. I was just gonna break in. No, right.
I got it back. I'll just ask Ivan. Hey, Ivan, how do I get into this thing? Ivan will hold the door open, like an old movie theater. Come on in. So
there's lots of little back doors that we can leave a little piece of paper in that you can just. But yeah, there's. I mean, obviously, I have my tours in Texas that you're always welcome to come to.
Thanks.
But yeah, we do have some great haunts here in Texas. There's some great ones in Houston and San Antonio and Dallas. It's very fun to travel around the country and know you've got friends that you can go and see their stuff, even if it is the haunt, off season. Granted, some of them are torn down. They don't have permanent places and stuff, but those that do, I mean, it's one of the coolest things about this industry is, most of us know at least one person in every state, or even some of us know even every city, that there's somebody there that we can hang out with, that we have a connection. They can show us around, be excited to show their area to you. Just when I came down.
I'll show you my area.
I'll show you.
I was just looking. I heard Derriere somewhere.
Yeah, Derriere. But when I went to
Come
Florida,
around my house, I'll show you my area.
I went there, and I'm gonna try to segue out of the Derriere. Johnny took us to an escape room that he really likes, and we had a blast there with him. So it's just the best part of this industry, but Wisconsin doesn't have anything I need to go see, so I don't need to worry about that.
No, you'll never come up here, even if it did. So
I may actually end up in Wisconsin this year. I'm going to do a side trip up through Chicago, Wisconsin, and Minnesota.
Call me, buddy.
I want to see. I really want. It's not a haunt thing, but it's something I've always wanted to visit. Is the House on the Rock in Wisconsin.
yeah.
But Terror on the Fox,
Like 30 minutes
to
from my
Hell's
house.
Gate again. And
We'll go together.
yeah.
I'm totally down for that.
I will tell you this: if you go when you go through Chicago,
There's so much more cool House on the Rock shit up here that you have no idea about. We could go on a total
I don't even know what
tangent
that
about
is. What is that?
Hold on.
Yeah, the House on the Rock, it's a very eclectic museum, basically.
Yes.
And
Okay.
my introduction to it, my favorite book of all time is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. And one scene takes place in the House of the Rock, and it's a real place.
Okay.
And I've always wanted to go and visit that.
So 45
It's
minutes
close to
north
me.
of House of the Rock, which is 35 minutes from my house. It's like a triangle. The artist that was brought in to do House on the Rock has his own like land. It's like 30 acres, 40 acres of,
Oh, wow.
it's called something Tron. Hold on. Evil Tron. Evil. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna look it up because I've been wanting to go, but every time I want to go, nobody else wants to go with me because it's so eclectic and unique. He just takes metal art and builds weird ass shit.
Dig it.
Cool.
I'm down. But yeah, I one of the things that I've realized, and I will always, my first love will always be the haunted attractions in Florida, but I'm not getting any younger, and I still have 29 states to do. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trust my team enough. I'm going to have like a home team and an away team, and we're going to cover the haunts in Florida like we normally do.
Sorry to interrupt. It's called Forevertron. Look it up.
That's
Forevertron.
cool.
Forevertron.
Check it up.
You'll be like, okay, when am I coming?
Let's go.
Troy could probably pull it up right now. Pull up Forevertron.
Forevertron.
Forevertron in Wisconsin.
Forevertron.
I mean, pictures. Look at the pictures. Oh my God, it's so badass. That's Dr. Evermore there.
Dr. Evermore.
That's the guy that created all this stuff. Look at this shit. That's all metal art, and it's ginormous. Have you seen the movie The Dark Crystal?
I do love the Dark Crystal.
So you know the moons
the Astrolab thing.
Yes, Olgra's Astrolab. It's similar shit to that. It's all metal, like massive metal art.
Heck yeah.
And it's
I'll let you know. It's probably going to be the second or third week of October or the last week of September.
Dude, then we get haunts too. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'm super
I'm
excited.
crashing on everybody's couch this year.
There you go. But yeah, you need to go through. They had to move because they had to close the building they were in, the 1800s casket factory of Evil Intentions. But that is my favorite indoor haunt.
Cool.
And I will put it this way: I was on my knees at one point. There was a room in that.
When aren't you?
I know.
Well
the thing is, they knew with the room that I was walking into that it was going to happen. And
you are digging yourself deeper. Keep going.
Yeah,
I know.
You're on your knees in a room.
I have no shame.
And you knew it was going to happen.
There were a lot of people in there in like cloaks, and they were all yeah.
Awesome. And there were some evil intentions.
There were some evil intentions. Yes.
I
actually may be in Chicago again this year, so that'll be my
Chicago has some awesome Illinois, Indiana, that whole area, Ohio. Epic stuff, man. It's like Halloween Central. They have so many haunted houses, and they're open super late, and you could do like 3 or 4 in a night.
Yep.
We did that a couple of years ago. It was amazing. So love that area.
So Susie, I think we have something we need to ask.
Hunter's Toolbox question of the week.
I can't wait to hear everybody's answers on this. What is one change you'd like to see in the industry?
Oh,
is that a question to me?
It's
first.
Oh my God! How are you guys sitting comfortable? Because I got a couple.
It's your floor, man.
All right. So one change: stop competing. It's stupid. Just stop. Make the pie bigger for everybody.
Define that. What do you mean?
So when I see one haunt talking smack about another haunt on social media, that bothers me. It's stupid, right? Stop arguing with people that review your experience. One of the worst things I see is like when people are back there on the Google reviews arguing back. Makes you look stupid. Don't do that. Another thing is stop giving free tickets to haunt reviewers. Stop. If you don't go to a restaurant and give people free food and expect you to get a good review, just stop. And then you need to vet the people you're letting come to your haunt and to review your haunt. You know, people have credentials, they have a background, they have an expertise. Ask for their media kit, look at their numbers, spend a moment, you know, like whatever. Also, another thing that I'd like to see in the industry is if you're going to have people out of your haunt, you're going to invite people or do media nights, you need to stop inviting spooky people and invite lifestyle people, invite people that are more about the travel aspect and things to do in your city, that kind of thing, because as much as I love the spooky people in the media and the industry, they're not bringing new people to your haunt. They're already your fan. You need to get those people, those untapped markets, to get people to do stuff. Another change, you need to strategically invite people to your haunt that are going to bring people with them. Invite the high school principal, invite the fire chief, invite the police chief, invite the mayor. These people are all going to invite the news editor or whatever. These people are all going to have people underneath them that are going to want to go. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of low-hanging fruit in the haunt industry that people aren't taking advantage of with that, because the method of what they've been doing the entire time I've been doing haunt scene, it's become archaic. And if you want to have your haunt blow up and bring more people out, you need to change your approach as to who you're inviting out to your haunt. Influencer marketing, get those staples in the community. Get the high school principal and strap a fucking scare cam on them and post that shit online. People are gonna lose their goddamn minds. Invest in technology. Get drones, get 360 cameras, get action cameras, get scare cams. Every goddamn haunt should have a scare cam. Every haunt should have a step and repeat banner and a hashtag. That's it.
Are you done? Because I kind of don't want you to be.
I think this is the perfect question.
I feel like this is going to be an episode I regularly watch.
That's the sermon from the Gospel of Johnny Bronto in my.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Do I do this now? What do I do?
Right.
You pass along the plate, and then you give me money.
That's good. I love it.
Because remember, one thing about me, like I said, I'm not a haunt reviewer. I am not a haunter, but I am definitely not a normal patron. So I fall right in the middle, and I see both ends of everything. Yep. And I really, these are the classes and things that I want to teach. And I've already taught some of the classes, like how to use Instagram, how to leverage technology, all kinds of stuff. And I want to keep doing that because, I don't run haunt scene for me. I run haunt scene for the betterment of the haunt industry. So I just do what I can to help.
Yeah, because I would rather see somebody like you do a class on Instagram and social media stuff because your history in it, but like you said, you see it from a whole different perspective than somebody who's in the industry or completely out of it. You definitely are in the middle. Yeah. And that type of expertise, but also you have the numbers to back up the experience. I'm not going to listen to somebody who's got 500 followers or a couple thousand followers, and post a few things. I see your stuff a lot on Instagram, on Facebook. I see it all the time because it's hitting my algorithm as a haunter, but I know that other people are seeing it because of the travel stuff, because of your hashtags and things like that. Haunts need to almost be like, hey, Johnny, you need to write a book, I think. And we would buy that book.
An ebook.
I mean, it'd probably be a little bit better if they just invited me out to their haunt. I'd give them a little one-on-one tutorial, stuff like that.
I mean, these haunts invite people out to do acting and makeup and costume, and help them grow their business in that aspect. But like you said, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit that they're missing, and they don't even know it because they're not inviting you. So there you go.
Oh, I got one more. One more. And this is a bonus tip for all you haunt owners out there. Get your political shit off of your social media. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care if you're left or right or whatever, because people are people will look for a reason to cancel you. And if you put any political shit on your personal stuff, I know you have to make a choice. Do you want your freedom of speech or do you want an actual successful business? Because if you post any political shit, you're basically taking your audience and you're potentially dividing them in half. And don't do that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I just
never
want
do
to add
shit like that.
I want to add a little story to that. It's not haunt related, but it's that political bullshit related. So I run a Hyundai store in Wisconsin here, and we just moved into a brand new state of the art building, and it's got fucking TVs as far as the eye can see, and there's 4 TVs on each wall for all the there's 2 separate lounge areas, so there's like 10 TVs in with just a 360 look. And when we first opened, news is always a good thing. You put it on for the weather and stuff like that. Well, it's not. I mean, we watched our survey. We watched our surveys just take a dump and people were shitting on the fact that either Trump was on the TV or Biden was on the TV, and why would you even put that on? And I'm like, honestly,
you can't control it.
Cartoons.
I didn't even think about it.
Or ESPN.
Yeah. Now it's just game shows and that's it.
When I would walk into Intel, they had giant video walls. Okay, just a huge video wall. 3 of the TVs were Intel stuff. It was all cool videos about their chips and whatever advertisements. The one video up on the top right, ESPN. Because nobody now, granted, ESPN has gotten a little political here and there too, but there's no audio. And usually that's on the audio side of it. They don't show political stuff, but they may talk about it a little bit. So if you can't hear it, who cares? But generally, any of the sports stations will do that. So yeah, it was a topic in a couple of classes at Transworld about should people be using any sort of political stuff? Should they not? Should they be doing a look for your haunt character thing on your social media? No. Haunts?
No, we talked about that. Remember?
Escape. We do not. I want to go to the dealership. I don't want to see news. I want to just be. I'm bored already because I got to be there.
Troy just wants to be serviced.
Yeah,
I will service you, Troy, on your knees, boy.
Yeah, I was going to say he wants to do the servicing. I think.
Lube, oil,
I'm pretty sure he's on his knees. We already know that much. He said it himself. But I want to also say that, like, the music industry is the same way. Like, I just saw like a TikTok or something about John Mellencamp like leaving the stage because he started getting political. And the audience was like booing him. And he was like, "What? This concert's over." And he like cut the concert short, which would have pissed me off. But all these people were like yelling, "We came to hear music. We don't care where you stand politically." So I think it's wise for anybody in any kind of industry where you are making money and feeding your family. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
That's it. Shut the fuck up and haunt.
STFUH.
Put that on a t-shirt. Shut the fuck up and haunt.
Exactly.
There you go.
There's,
the South by Southwest festival here in Austin is huge music festival. Well, evidently it's sponsored by the U.S. Army. So about 10 bands you've never heard of and never will, and you'll never buy their crap. You don't even know their songs. They decided to put up a stance and not show up. And they said, we're banking out of it because you support the Army. And it's like, so you want to lose money because they're sponsored by the Army and your individual beliefs. So they just lost potential huge amounts of fans because they interjected their politics into their, and that's a huge thing with music and movies, is that it's all about they believe that their personal beliefs are more important to you than their music, or that, they're always trying to send you a message. And haunts should not be sending you any messages other than please pee yourself while you're in the middle of my haunt. That's all the message you should be sending to people.
We are the scariest haunt.
Yeah.
In the state.
Honestly, COVID sucked that we even had to talk about things that were actual real. Like, we needed to have masks and we needed to follow these mandates and we needed to have certain, because we were open, but like bigger haunts weren't, like 100 Acres Manor couldn't be open because they weren't allowed to have large crowds. We were allowed. And it was like, because we're in a different county, but it was like, I hated to even have to reference or even talk about the real world because I wanted you to come and forget about the fact that, COVID even existed. But you just still had to circle back and talk about that because you had to be responsible. But it sucked.
Well, because at that aspect, if you didn't say anything about it, people were mad at you. So therefore, you were canceled because you didn't talk about the thing people wanted to escape from. It's like
exactly right. Double-edged sword. Yeah.
Right. Speaking of double-edged swords. Fire is bad.
It's all about those rapid fire questions. All right, Johnny, you ready for this? 5 questions.
Yeah.
Answer them as fast as you can. Ready? Go.
No.
Yes. No.
Number 1. No. Number 2.
No.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Many. No. Throw on his knees. All right. Ready?
Yes.
No.
Damn it. Troy.
What is the perfect number 1? Ready? What is the perfect length of time for a haunted attraction walkthrough?
8 minutes.
8 minutes. Interesting. Latex or silicone?
Silicone.
He's so fast.
Dan or Troy?
Dan.
Write that down.
Facades? The facade or the final scare?
Final scare.
And then last one, zombies or vampires?
Vampires.
There you go. You got it. That's the fastest.
I need some clarification.
Yeah, we got to go back to number 1.
Yeah, go back to number 1.
Yeah. 8 minutes.
That's the average for a haunt.
We're not talking about love lives here. We're talking about haunt.
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay, so does it feel like 8 minutes, or is it?
What is she saying?
Well, here's what
my sex tape.
Let me back up a little bit. So, let's say if it's a haunted attraction that has multiple things like a house, trail, different stuff, that's it. Now, if it is its own thing, like a big old head to tail haunted attraction, I mean, obviously you're gonna have like I would say 20-30 minutes, definitely.
Okay.
Because
I like that because that's where I've
well, you don't want to make it too long because people's brains turn off when they get overloaded. And you also have, as a byproduct of that, you have your throughput. You got to get multiple people through the haunt. So, just like anything else, there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. And I think the human brain, most people's brains can only take so much scary shit before they just go numb.
It's not scary anymore, and you're not. Right. That's me. That's what happens to me because I have ADD. That's it.
It's like me with cocaine.
Right. Too much of that.
Yeah.
He's wearing a hoodie tonight because he's cold because he does too much crack.
No, it's because it's 30 degrees outside. I don't have any heat in this room.
Oh.
You don't have heat in that room?
Well, I do.
I was in shorts today.
Right there. You see it?
Good for you.
But this is a big ass room, and it's Johnny. Just so you know, when you come up here, there'll be air conditioning in here, but there won't be any heat. So
bring your parka.
Don't worry, we'll cuddle.
You'll have to buy a parka.
Wow. I want to go back to. I want to go back to the Troy Dan question and why you chose what you chose. I need clarification for me.
I need clarification for that. It's obvious.
I just want it.
Well,
what made you say Dan so quickly?
Because I have met Troy in real life, IRL. I don't think I've met Dan in IRL yet.
Okay.
That's good enough. I'll take a win's a win.
What he's saying is he doesn't want to meet me again. He just
I remember seeing Susie walk right by me and not saying anything. So we technically met, but yeah.
How did you see me? I was literally probably under you.
Yeah, you're only 1 foot tall. Yeah.
I am only 5 foot tall.
It's all good.
Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Listen, I go to these things and I feel like I'm invisible. So
me too.
Yeah, right.
I want to be.
Okay, well, on that note, that he doesn't want to meet me anymore. Ironically, we did get a picture at Transworld, didn't we?
I think so, or Midwest, or something.
I haven't gone through all my pictures yet, but so.
It's okay, Johnny. If I met you, we can take pictures all you want. It's okay. I don't need excuses. You can vote for Troy next time just so he feels better.
Oh, okay. I'll just switch off every year.
There you go. Hey, I'm only down by 1. Okay, so
every other year we'll have you on. Sounds good.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Okay. Well, we have a new feature on the show that is specifically for you. So we will get to that now.
Oh, what does haunting mean to you, Johnny?
Oh man, God, we have to sit down and get comfortable for this one.
Deep.
I am absolutely in love with the haunt community in every aspect. The actors, the owners, the effects people, the mask people, the costume people. I think haunt, if I had to put it in a nutshell, I think haunt to me means a community of like-minded folks. There are a lot of really good people in this industry, and I love, like I said earlier, expanding the haunt scene family and making new friends. So that's exactly what haunting means to me. Yeah.
Well spoken.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It's almost like I do this for a living. I mean, haunt scene's not my living. I have a day job. I train realtors.
Listen,
I'm a public speaker for a living.
That's a way to ruin it, is trying to do it for a living. True.
Yeah. If we have had a couple sponsors, by the way, if you're interested in sponsoring Haunt Scene, please reach out. Thank you. But if the sponsors we've had and the things that we've had, all 100% of anything we ever have donated, our Patreon or whatever, it goes right back into the show. I do not want to do what I do for a profit because I think it would actually corrupt how I feel about haunts. Mm-hmm. I do this 110% out of the love, and it comes out of my pocket, and I've spent tens of thousands of dollars trying to make you look good. So nobody can ever question my integrity about what I do for this, but yeah. Thanks for sharing all the things. I appreciate that.
We're gonna. That's what we're getting to right now. So you can find Haunt Scene on all
the socials. Let's go.
Scroll down on Instagram. Scroll down on that sexy Instagram. Look at all this amazing content that my team has created.
Look,
Trans World, the Big Grub,
me with his damn Troy button. See, we did meet. We did meet because you got a button.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a picture with you. You're in the things.
I'm somewhere in there. Yeah.
Well, I think I posted one of the photo dumps on Facebook, but
yeah.
That's Kira on the left. There's Kira. There's Eddie Warren. Like I said, this is all about them. Yep. We're also big fans of the houses October built. So if you see the blue skeleton stuff, that's a tribute to them. But we just want to showcase all the things out there.
Yeah. And you've got hauntScene.com, of course. You can check that out for all your Florida needs.
Florida.
Go
to the places we've visited link at the top.
Haunts we visited.
Just to show a little bit of scale of the things that we've done here, because I want to show this off here. I do need to update this map a little bit, but scroll on down. This is what we've done.
He's been to Dead Rising.
Yeah, I went there for the Midwest Horror Convention tour a couple years ago.
Yes. Legends of Fear, Malice Manor.
Yeah, we've been to some epic haunts.
Brighton Asylum, Containment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've done a couple things.
A few haunted houses. I don't think you're up to Beverly and Nick Pappas, though. So you have some.
I love Nick and Beverly, man. They're good friends. We love them to death.
But you have California on them, so that's because Nick doesn't fly. So you have that going for you.
That's actually Melissa. Melissa goes out to Horror Nights every year and does the things in California. I personally haven't been out that far west yet, but I'll get out there eventually.
Yeah. So you can go to hauntscene.com, and then you got the Facebook on the hauntscene.com. And just like he mentioned earlier, they start their season on May 7th.
Yep.
Right before our show. So you can watch Haunt Scene, and then you can watch Haunt Hour and get a full night of haunty goodness.
You could.
Haunty goodness.
I will tune into your show when I'm sitting at Waffle House.
Panties.
With panties.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Are we all? Do we hit everything, Troy?
Except for who's coming up next week.
I was just going to ask, who's up next week?
You were going to ask? Okay.
I was going to ask.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
This is going to be big. Grant. We're going from Florida to the snowy tundra of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and visiting with Grant McDonald, who swears it snows every fucking day up there. He has actually
don't doubt it.
It has snowed in July.
Why do you have a picture of Grant in like Florida?
Florida Keys.
This photo like is Grant, because otherwise it would just be in a giant parka. You can't even see his face. So,
right.
Fair enough. Do they have sunlight up there?
Huh?
Is there sunlight up there in Alberta? Is it like
no.
dark?
No.
Is it like dark 4 months out of the year?
Not Alaska.
30 days of night. Are there vampires there?
All the hunters get together and they put it up on a mirror, and then they make the sun. So hunters have created the sun up there for the daytime, and
Oh my God.
He is an extreme home haunter. By the means of that, I don't think he's bought something to make his haunt in years. So kitty litter boxes and lots of carving. It's gonna be a great show about the North.
Alberta it is.
Alberta it is. Oh, look at you with the dad. It is time for bed.
Oh my God. It is time for bed.
It is time for bed. On that note, thank you, Johnny, for coming on tonight.
Love you all.
You, as always. Great talking with you. Lots of fun information that we got from you. And panties are still on sale for the next 30 minutes. If you can find them online. Go there now. Get your panties.
Act now.
All right, Johnny. Thank you for coming on. Everybody else, thank you for watching. Everybody have a great night. And we'll see you next Tuesday.